I can't believe your prices are that high. Your prices are absolutely ridiculous. I'll just find a cheaper photographer. What's going on, guys? Have you had these types of responses when it came to you telling potential clients about your prices? Or do they just ghost you and become nowhere to be found and just don't reach out to you again? Well, this video is going to tell you why photography costs so much. What's going on, guys? Will here, and I'm back with another video. This is a video that was requested, and I get a lot of inquiries from other photographers asking me like how to price for their photography work. And what I can say is, first off, you should really master your skills, master your lighting, and you should know your camera inside and out, and be prepared for any lighting conditions. So that's also with the use of off-camera flash and studio lighting. So once you've mastered all of that and you're ready to go into business, a lot of people, when they're starting a photography business, me included, when I started, I charged very cheap because I didn't understand how to run a photography business at that time. I thought, just making money, getting any kind of money was okay, for me to start a photography business. But then I came to realize that that's not going to sustain me in the long run. And I was kind of thinking short term, but in the long run, really, that is not going to sustain you. So charging $200 for a photo shoot, um, really is not worth it. And I'm going to tell you why. So there are a lot of things that go into being a photographer. You do a lot of admin work, and to be honest, photography is majority the back end work, and the small part is the actual shooting itself. So we're gonna go by the what we call the 80-20 rule. That works in nutrition, that works in life, and it works in a lot of areas. So we're gonna apply that to photography. So 80% of your photography business is really just maintaining the business, client relationships, working on keeping your skills up to par. That's like going to workshops and things like that. And then the last part is the 20%, which is the actual shooting. These are some of the reactions that I've gotten from people who have inquired about my work. And I can tell you that these people are really just not my ideal clients either way, because a lot of them, they were price shoppers and things like that. But let me tell you who my ideal client is. My ideal client is someone that values my work. They know what goes into creating that amazing image that they will be receiving, and they understand that they're investing time and money into my photography business. So my average client spends about $3,000 to $5,000, sometimes even more. And this is for the boudoir side of my business. But it can also work for any general portraits. What you would need to do is you would just need to factor in your numbers. And thankfully for you, I have a course that breaks down all that for you. With that being said, many people do not know why photography, or in my case, boudoir photography, or any professional level of photography costs so much. So that's why I've created this video, and it's also a blog, and I want to just share the knowledge on why. For starters, we're going to break down a timeline of my workflow, and yours may be similar. So when I get a client, or let's just say someone's inquiring about my photography service, so we do a pre-consultation that takes about 15 to 30 minutes, and that's just a phone call where we go over ideas and their vision to see if we are a good fit to work with each other. And then after that, let's just say the book. And after that, we have tons of back end work, which we go through. We send out uh, info packets. We have an onboarding process, and that consists of a lot of emails. And I'm always available with my clients for text messaging as well. So I just put a lot into working with my clients to ensure that they're having a good experience. And let's just say, with all the emails and texts process, that takes about 3 to 5 hours. And yeah, so that's 3 to 5 hours on top of the 15 to 30 minutes from the consultation call. Then, once we have all that, they're going through the onboarding process. We have a session preparation. This is on our session day, and this is all preparing them for their shoot. Me and my team, we arrive to the location and we make sure the location is perfect for the shooting. That's going to happen, and session prep that usually takes about an hour. And then we have the session, hair and makeup happens, and then we have the session, and that's all between 4 to 5 hours of time. And then we have a session wrap up time, which is about 30 minutes to an hour. Then session's complete, client goes home. Well, after this, I forgot, after the session, we also have a post session viewing and ordering. And this happens right after the session because I like to do this when the clients are just so excited about their shoot still. They just had a wonderful time and they're excited to see the images that we just created together. So this also helps with them ordering and selecting their favorite photos. And then we also go through the album creation process. They're able to select the materials for their album. They're also able to select the number of photos that they want in the album and things like that. And then once that's all said and done, my job's not done. So this is where a lot of people who don't know or have experience with working with a professional photographer, they think that right after the session's done, the photographer will just put the images on either a flash drive, like in today's terms, flash drive, and or send them in a digital gallery, and that's it. Your work is done. There's still more work to do. We're not done with our job at all. We have the post production process that we go into. And that's cleaning up the photos, tossing out the photos that are out of focus and things like that, and just minimizing and just making sure that we have all the selects from the client that they purchased. And then we have the album print design and ordering. So we're inspecting the images and making sure that they're sized appropriately to create the album, and that takes time as well. That's about 1 to 2 hours. And then we also have, like I said, we have the education portion of just walking the client through every step of the process. So here's an actual breakdown of the expenses that go into a session. So with me, with Boudoir, hair and makeup, that's $100 plus. It can go up to $200. And I don't actually have a studio, so I do studio rental locations, and that's anywhere between $300 to $600 at this time. I know prices are going up. And then when I have a photographer assistant, that's an extra $100 for the day for that photographer. So on average, a full session could be 500 to 1700 when it's all said and done. So 500 on the low end to $1,700 on the high end for a photo shoot. That sounds like a lot of money, right? Well, Let me tell you why. Well, this is because my team that I work with, we're all working professionals. My makeup and hair artists are certified. I also contract out estheticians and beauty bar professionals as well. My clients, they get a full pamper treatment if they choose to do so. So part of that full pamper treatment is they're getting their eyebrows done, they're getting a full body wax, they're getting lashes and extensions and things like that. And these are all services that complement and add to the full boudoir experience. That's a lot of money when you think about it already. And that's just the photo shoot itself. But then we also want to think about all the equipment that goes into being a professional photographer. And to be honest, professional photography equipment is not cheap. But then we have photography software. And we have software. I use Capture One and I use Photoshop. I also have Lightroom. Don't use it too much. I used it a lot before I got started uh, and switched to Sony. But after the shoot's done, like I said, your work is not done. You have your post production part of the business, and you need software to run that. Then also, boudoir or portrait photography, they're not easy forms of photography because there's more than just you pointing the camera and shooting. You're also a director. You're directing your client through poses, and you're just trying to bring the best out of your client during the session. And that's taking time. And the better you're skilled at that, and that's the better value that your client will see working with you. So we're responsible to help clients feel safe and comfortable on any and all situations during the shoot. We're also responsible to bring out the personality of our client and in their images. And it is our duty to express to our client that we are showcasing their true natural beauty and their true and natural self, depending on who you're working with. If it's a male, you're working with their true and natural self, and in beauty with our female clients as well. And then this brings me to another point. You need to have the knowledge and experience to create these images. I've been to workshops and I've also, did a lot of self teaching as well on learning the right angles and poses to create for my clients. So with that being said, we're not just photographers, we are people who understand other people. Now that we have the photo shoot all out of the way, we have the client process and comfortability out of the way. Now we have all these photos, right? What are we going to do with these photos? And this is something that I walk my clients through. Like I said before, we talk about the albums and things like that. So, are you offering products to your client? So now that that's all said and done, you've had a amazing photo shoot. Your client has seen and picked their photos. You walked your clients through every step of the way in the process of working with you. Now that you have all these images, you've processed them. Now what are you going to do with them? What you're going to do is you're going to provide high quality products. And providing high quality products is going to let your clients see the perceived value that you offer. They're going to see that you're not only just a photographer that clicks the shutter button and sends them digital files, they are actually getting a high quality product in return for spending that time with you. And this also goes into why photography is so expensive. Quality products aren't cheap. The last thing I want to say is if you're running a photography business, you need to be treating it as such. And that is Having these processes structured in my business, I am able to charge a premium for my services because my clients see the value in what I do and they know that they are getting something in exchange for their time with me. And let's not forget about Uncle Sam. When you're running a photography business, a legit one, you are going to have to pay taxes and you should be charging accordingly so that you can pay Uncle Sam and stay out of trouble and not have to go to jail. So, if you found this video helpful and you would like to figure out how you can implement these systems and strategies into your business, I have an online course where I teach you step by step on how to go from being a hobbyist photographer to having a streamlined photography business by implementing systems that will help you provide value to your clients.